We got some breaking news to start yesterday's show with the Browns trading for Tytus Howard from the Houston Texans, ESPN put out their trade grades today for the deal, and Seth Walder, not nearly as much of a fan of the deal as we were. Seth Walder of ESPN gave the Browns a D+ for the trade, gave the Texans an A-. The summary was Cleveland overpaid for an average offensive tackle. I cut a little snippet of the longer write-up. You can find it on ESPN.com. But Seth Walder said, in part, and I quote, whenever you're ready, Steve, I need to see it so I can read it. So the Browns are likely getting a below-average starter, and he isn't cheap. Howard is slated to make $17.5 million in 2026 and is now signing a 2-year, $45 million extension. Is this where they want to spend their resources, dealing a fifth-round pick to pay what might be an over-the-market deal for a below-average starter? That's not how I'd want to kick off the offseason. Zach, what did you make of the Tytus Howard trade, and do you believe the Browns overpaid? We said no yesterday. Seth Walder today says a bit of an overpay.
Well, the way he presents it there, I mean, he's winning his own argument. But is it the way you want to kick off the offseason, or is it the way you have to kick off the offseason? Because you have as many as 6 veteran offensive linemen walking out the door. You didn't draft one last year, and the last one you drafted hasn't played at all, right? And so the first thing I look at, $17 million base salary, okay, that's going to be reworked. So the Browns just took another older player and pushed money down the road. Well, guess what? It's what they do. They're clearly not afraid of failing because they failed doing this. The money means nothing. They just push it down the road. So Tytus Howard has played guard. He's played tackle. He's been serviceable. What are the red flags? Well, Houston needs to fix their offensive line, and they're willing to give this guy up.
Right.
They just didn't want to pay him anymore. So the Browns say, at very least, this guy is an average guard for us. He might be our starting right tackle. He might be good. We're going to give him money to motivate him. What the track record of that is arguable. But the Browns look and say, as of this moment, we arguably have 0 real starting offensive linemen because the injury track record on DeJuan Jones is not good, and Luke Whippler may or may not be a starter. So now they have 1 more than they have yesterday. It's just the start. So in that, if you look at it from that way, then Seth Walder is dead wrong. I don't think he's totally dead wrong. As usual, the truth's in the middle, but it depends on how you look at it and then obviously how it works.
Eye beholder. Perspective, Tyvis. Can beggars be choosers?
Right. It's a great question.
I mean, listen, the Browns had to do what they got to do. I think Zach's right. You got to get you a starter. I mean, you're losing all 5 guys. You got to get somebody in there that gets some stability. And I think the one thing that the Browns, when you say overpay, it's funny because the one thing the Browns value a lot out of their linemen is versatility. And he gives you that. He can play tackle or he can play guard, and he's good at both of them. And I think that when you look at that situation, it makes it funny because it still doesn't tell you what the Browns want to do at 6. You know, like people was like, well, it takes Francis out. No, it don't. If you get Francis, you can still put him at tackle or you can put him at guard, depending on which one he's willing to do, and you can put him at the other one. You can still go left tackle. Like, it's just so many things that you can do. But to me, the Browns understand. And it was funny because I talked to them last year when they drafted Mason Graham. The Browns understand that games are won and lost in the trenches. And when you hear AB talk about the Chicago thing, Chicago flipped their offensive line in 1 year, and we want to try to do something similar to that. It makes me think that they're spending this whole offseason really focused on fixing that offensive line and fixing the protection because that helps out. Think about last year when they played Buffalo. The Browns had a realistic chance to beat Buffalo. The reason they lost that game, outside of all the stuff that happened, but when you get to the final drive, Shedeur Sanders is going to make a throw, but Cam Robinson, I don't even think touched the guy. and I think it was a fumble or knocked it down or whatever it was.
Yeah, didn't touch him.
Like, we trying to evaluate the quarterback, and we can't even do that if the dude is getting blasted before he can even get the ball out of his hands.
That's right.
So, like, to me, you have to fix the offensive line. Even if you go get Malik Willis, he going to have the same issue. You go get draft Ty Simpson or Anthony Richardson, it's still the same issue. So, to me, it seems like they really are trying to fix the offensive line to be able to evaluate the quarterback position.
Hey, man, all you parents out there, Tyvis, I don't know if this happens to you, man. I'll use you as an example. I already used my car analogy. We're going to do something else. Hey, man, you're a newborn father, man. You wake up, baby crying. Baby ain't got no milk or no Pampers. You double out of here. You double, no milk.
No Pampers?
No Pampers, right? Your wife get up and say, oh, my goodness, the diaper bag is empty. And the baby is screaming. She like, you gotta go to the store. It's 12:30. You get in your car, you're going a little bit faster than you should. and the only thing is open is a 24-hour Rite Aid or Walgreens. You walk in there, you look around, you say, hey, man, where's the Pampers at? They said it's over there, man. You look at the Pampers size. Pampers is way too big. Little two size too big. You're like, this is nasty work.
It's got to work today.
You're going to grab them. You're going to grab them mediums.
It's going to work today.
You might even have to use some Depends.
Yeah.
You might,
For sure.
you might have to get the adult versions. You get up to the register. Are you going to ask how much them Pampers is?
No.
If them is $50 Pampers, you going to swipe them Pampers, put them in the car, and you going to tape up your daughter with duct tape and be like, at least she got a clean pamper and some 2% milk. The Cleveland Browns is sitting there, and they need milk and they need Pampers. That's receivers and linemen. And guess what? At this point, Zach just said it. The owner said last year wasn't good enough. You didn't win enough games, and the coach got fired, and everybody got moved out. Now, you're the last man standing. You are in no position to ask how much these Pampers cost with this. No, you got to go do what you got to do. Hey, live to fight another day. You can find another bargain somewhere else. But in terms of what the Browns need, they gave a 5th-round pick. They got multiple of them. At least he's better than Livingston. He's better than Cam Robinson, and he can play multiple positions. So even if the evaluation is messed up, push come to shove, put him at guard.
Well, KT Livingston still will be the starting left tackle if the season started today.
Correct.
He didn't give up a sack last year?
That is correct.
And he started every game at right tackle?
That is,
He played guard
No, he
and
played all
tackle.
over the line last year, but he did not give up a sack.
And you know what we did? We cashed him out.
Can I, what is that? What's
There
the
you
breakdown?
go.
What's the breakdown on guard tackle games for him last year?
I got snaps. Give me 1 second. I'll pull it
I
up.
think it was more guard. He was playing tackle, and then they traded Cam Robinson, who they gave $12 million to, and that was a bail. So they swapped the rookie from one side to the other, and they
So we
him
got
around.
Cam Robinson from them too.
Yes.
So,
Ty, I got the snap breakdown. Last year, he played 555 snaps at right tackle, 132 at right guard, and 334 at left guard.
yeah, we're gonna take
So
that.
it's about 50-50 as far
Right.
as guard.
We-
So he's more of a left guard.
He was better, I think, a right tackle over the course of his career, but last year he played more left guard than he ever had. I think he came in as a guard, moved to tackle, and then came back to guard. 'cause
He was
there
a
was
tight
more.
end in college.
He got to
Moved to
Tytus,
tackle.
there's one thing I
and bounced
noticed
around.
there
With
when
that
you laid that out.
17 and a half, he got to play tackle.
You know the one thing I noticed when you're laying that out? You're talking about the Miami tackle. You called him Francis because you didn't want to go near having to pronounce that last name.
Yeah, Marioga.
Yeah.
Maui Nagoa.
Maui Nagoa.
Francis Maui Nagoa.
Can we
Maui
just call him
Nagoa.
the Maui Invitational? We just gonna
Maui Nagoa.
Maui. Let's
I gotta
go.
remember this.
Hey,
Maui Nagoa.
Man, whatever, bro. Look, I'm sorry, bro. Can somebody tell me how to pronounce the guard's name from Penn State?
No, I'm trying to find that out.
Well,
So if you go to my laptop
Maui
right now,
Nagoa.
you got all these guys open, and sometimes they put on their profile page, there's a button, and they read it to you.
Oh yeah, I need that.
And so I played it a
need
million
that.
times over.
Man.
The Arizona State tackle.
Oh yeah, that's it. I just like.
I'm not even going to try to say. I said it on my way up here in the car
Maui
to myself,
Nagoa.
but I'm not even going to try to say it.
But anyways, what about Francis?
So now,
Maui Nagoa.
so you know the thing about this is when you talk about Tytus Howard and who said this? Oh no, I was watching. So Tony Grossi and Chris Rose, I was looking at it when I was doing seeing what people thought about it, and Chris did say something that I thought was kind of poignant. Like, say for instance, how does this affect how they feel about Maui Noah and Fano? Like, you got a guy over here, but now if you went out and if they would have said those two dudes are definite starters for us day one. We got him drafted. We got him slated on our board.
Is Francis Maui Nagoa still considered the top?
On a lot of rankings, he is. He and Fano are very close.
He measured very well at the combine.
So,
But they said the guard from Penn State, the Vega dude, is like position be dang. He's like a top
he's
5
the-
player.
Yeah, that might be true, but guards just don't go that high. But as far as the tackles, it's Maui Nagoa and Fano that are
Okay.
at the top.
so how many teams do you believe we've heard this about a lot of especially with Maui? That's what it's going to be, Maui. Maui said Maui is like, man. People think he's better at guard. How many teams that you talked to or saw would actually consider moving him inside.
Well, I think people thought that, but then his arms were plenty long when they actually measured him, so that was.
So that probably puts that to bed.
He has played right tackle though, whereas Fano has played both, and you just kind of work it out, like with Tytus Howard.
Fano's arms small?
They were shorter than Francis's.
And his little.
I know, because I just seen a quote. They had talked to him, and he said he don't care, whatever it takes to be great.
I think the overarching thing here is their options are all still open. Like they could take either one of those guys at 6. They could trade down. They could take Howard can play any of these positions. And you did make a small investment in him, but it was a necessary one. This wasn't going out and paying 60 guaranteed to like the top left tackle who's going to be the left tackle.
Cash him out.
Right?
Rashad Walker.
Yeah.
Cash him out.
I have questions about him
because of the Myles Garrett train thing, where he was like, "Run, Joe!"
Listen, as Myles Garrett make everybody look like that, but you paying money. He's a decent. He's serviceable. Serviceable, but the amount of money they won't give him is
$20 million a year.
But the Monroe Freeland is a true left tackle.
He's a true left tackle.
And he's shooting up the draft boards right now.
Yeah,
so he won't be there at 24.
No.
No.
He could be the pick at 6. Howard could be your right tackle.
How do you feel about that?
You believe
Seems like
that?
an Andrew Berry pick to me.
If Francis or Monroe.
I would tell you that a lot of people just believe you would never take a right tackle at 6. That's too high. But again, this is such a unique situation. I don't think the Penn State guard is a bad pick if you think he's a great player.
They say he's supposed to be like a generational talent.
Yeah.
Andrew Berry, I'm going to tell you what, when the draft comes around, we all going to be sitting here looking around at each other because I'm going to keep it real. I don't think nobody knows.
All we need is G. Bush to say who he
least I'm not doing it.
Like, here's one safe prediction,
and
right?
that's who it's going to be.
He made the Chicago reference, which was trade for 2 guards, sign a center, draft a right tackle in the 2nd round, right? So they've already traded for 1. So let's say next week they sign a guard. I think the draft is still open, and I think post-draft free agency, I think like all of these things, like we're all going to focus on who the starting 5 are. First of all, that never lasts. Secondly, like if you did have a starting 5 right now, DeJuan Jones, is he in it or not? He's never played a full season. He's played well, but he's never played a full season. So this is an evolving process. They got KT Levison last year on August 27th. Right, whether he's in the fold or not, like that's an opportunity to get it. Like it's going to go on. So they're going to flip this thing over. They're so desperate. Last December, they signed 3 different offensive linemen off other teams' practice squads. Probably none of them can play a lick, or their teams would have not let them go. However, the Browns were in a situation.
Well, if you signing them off the practice squad, the options is you either stay here and we give you a game check, or you gonna go.
But you lose them forever. You don't lose them for a week.
But we got to go to McNuggets March 10th. We'll know about Bitonio. Gut feeling, yes or no? Is he come back?
My gut feeling is no, but I think that the fact that they went public with their full court press tells me I could be wrong.